Shares. Dealing with any shares owned by the deceased raises a number of issues. For example, you'll need to find out exactly what shares the deceased owned, whether you need to provide an indemnity, how much the shares were worth the day the deceased died, and what the beneficiaries want you to do with them. Confirming ownership. First, there's the question of exactly what shares the deceased owned. Records of an individual's shareholdings in a company are kept by the company's share registrar. DIY Probate includes contact details for the 3 main share registrars in the UK, making it easier for you to contact the right organisation. The registrars will also confirm if the deceased's holding is in electronic or certificate form. Important point. You might find there are a number of share certificates that make up the deceased holding. In this situation, you need to make sure you've got all the relevant share certificates. Understanding indemnity. If you're sure the deceased owns certain shares, but you can't find the certificate, you'll need to provide the share registrar with what's known as an indemnity. This is basically an assurance that the deceased definitely owned the shares and that the certificate has been lost. Important point. When you sign an indemnity, you're also confirming you'll be liable for any loss to the share company if the certificate is later found and someone else claims the shares. To avoid this, you need to be as certain as you possibly can that the deceased really did own the shares. Valuing shares and tax issues. Once you've confirmed the number of shares, you need to find the price of the individual shares on the date of death. You'll need this information to calculate the figures on the probate application form and any inheritance tax and capital gains tax liability. Look online or in the financial press for share prices. See the help notes in DIY Probate for more information about how to value shares. Important point. The deceased shares will often pay a dividend to their estate during the administration process. If this happens, it's essential you declare it to HMRC as part of the deceased's income tax settlement. See our videos on income tax, inheritance tax, and capital gains tax for more information. What to do with the shares. It's usually possible to either sell or transfer shareholdings. The first step is to speak to the beneficiaries to find out what they want you to do with the shares, but you should also consider getting professional investment and tax advice. Important point. The value of shares and unit trusts is controlled by the stock market and can go up or down during the administration period. If the beneficiaries instruct you to sell shares, it's best to do this as soon as probate is received. If you delay unnecessarily and the share price drops, you may find yourself liable for the loss. Top tip. If a company changes its name or merges with another company, it will usually issue new certificates to its shareholders. The various share registrars will be able to confirm the certificate numbers of all valid share certificates, so you'll know which certificates to look for.